Hey there, this is Anonymous T. Welcome to Anonymous T Podcast. Hello, everyone. Hello, YouTubers. Hope you guys are all having an amazing day today, sending good vibes, sending positivity, sending blessings and good energy to each and every single one of you. Thank you so much for tuning in. Some housekeeping items, some meat and potato items. It is free to follow me. Free to follow me on this channel, Anonymous T Podcast. Follow me on my main channel if you haven't already, Anonymous T. Follow me on the Tickety Talk at Anonymous T Podcast. Free to follow me on the Instagram. On the Instagram, he's at AnonymousRealityT. Free to share everywhere. Free to like the video so that it gets out into the algorithm, y'all. Also free to, share with your family, your friends, and your foes. So today we're talking Love Island USA, Season 7, Episode 6, and we got a little bit to talk about, y'all. The episode begins, post, the evening from the baseball game where the two new bombshells, Hannah and Amaya, come in. Huda is still crashing out over it because she thinks she's calling Amaya all types of B's and everything else, y'all. Well, which I'm not cool with, and I'm going to continue to call it out. It was not cool day one where she kept referring to Chelley and Olandria as the B word, and it was not cool that she keeps calling Amaya the B word, right? So Ace has a sit down, or no, before we get to Ace, Huda sits down with Jeremiah, and she's again trying to come for Amaya. She was disrespectful, Jeremiah's not saying anything. He's not saying anything. Huda's trying to get details on how much she really kissed him back, and He's not really saying anything. He's just trying to sit there and look pretty, y'all. He is just trying to sit there and look pretty, and Huda's like, she's going to try to talk to you, and and Jeremiah's like, okay, cool. We're still winning the show. So, nonetheless, Jeremiah's on the dock show, and he's eating snacks, and Amaya comes over and talks to him, and he is so rude to her. She's trying to talk to him, say she wants to get to know him. There was a reason why she chose him for the home run, and he is just very nonchalant, very inappropriate, but he did say that he was open. He did mention that. He did mention the fact that he is open to getting to know other islanders, right? Now, it's just a matter of not if, but when, right? Because clearly this isn't the actual type yet that has come into the villa that Jeremiah's head is potentially going to turn. But he was reminding me of Luca from Love Island UK Season 8, who was very disrespectful, very mean to Danica and everything else. And he's like, kisses goodbye, that's an HELL no, and all this and all of that. And I'm just like, dude, you're here's my problem with this whole Huda and Jeremiah thing, is they don't want to get to know anyone else. They think the show's over and they've won the 100K. They think that they've got to stay together as a day one couple, and they don't have to get to know any other bombshell. They could be mean, they could be dismissive, and they could do all this and that, and people are just going to feature it. No, not on my watch. So Huda talks with Ace, and she's like, I don't see what's going on. Like, I feel like the bombshell's overstep, and Ace is like, it's day 4. And she's like, I don't care. And Ace is like, but you should care. Like y'all doing too much. Y'all doing absolutely too much. So, nonetheless, Amaya, after that conversation with Jeremiah, is like, listen, I'm moving on. I'm going to try to get to know Austin. I'm going to try to get to know Ace. Those are my top 2 now. So, now we have a situation of, everybody goes to bed or whatever else. And we know previously that Nick had kissed both Bella and Sierra, because Sierra in the photo booth. So nonetheless, we get to the next day. In the morning, everybody want to talk all of a sudden. Also, the night before, Jeremiah and Huda, after a few days, they're sharing a shower together. I don't care, you guys. I don't care. You're not going to convince me that they're going to win the show. And now the problem is, because things are heating up between Charlie and Hannah, Now y'all got a new couple. Somebody, I see a certain fan base. They were looking for somebody to get behind. They thought it was going to be Huda and Jeremiah, but she's too loco. She is too crazy, right? So now they're behind Chelley and Hannah. And you'll always do this. You'll always do this. You'll always push a couple nobody cares about. Y'all push a couple that is getting no screen time that nobody cares about just to try to harm the black female islanders. And it is tale as old as time, and I'm sick of it. So they're, getting along very well, and pretty much, Hannah's not interested in Austin. Nobody's interested in Austin. Like let's keep it a buck. So Amaya tells all the girls, listen, looky here, I'm gonna get to know Ace and Austin. Like I'm not even gonna fool with it, because after Huda's complete freak out or everything, I'm just gonna leave it alone. I am just gonna leave it alone. So now all of a sudden Huda wants to call her a sister, and she's sisterhood. And listen, looky here, like I said on my TikTok, anybody that is talking about they're a girl's girl, they're here for the sisterhood and everything else, but anytime you see somebody as a threat, they're not a sister. They're all types of B's and H's and all types of other foolishness. Or as long as they're not interested in Jeremiah, they're not, then they're sister. No. Stop trying to push this fake sisterhood. Stop trying to recreate anything of season 6, you guys, because it's not real. The villa has to walk on eggshells because of Huda, because of any potential bombshell now that has a connection with Jeremiah. She is going to tear down that entire villa, and it's exhausting. It is very exhausting. So nonetheless, now all of a sudden Huda's not a mean girl anymore, and I'm just like, girl, bye. You've showed your behind, and this isn't it. This is not what Love Island is about, right? And so nonetheless, we see conversations of Amaya having with Austin and also with Ace, and it's just funny. It is just funny because she's up here talking about to Ace, I can make things clap, and I'm not talking about my hands. And I was like, oh boy. And then she was having some type of conversation. I still can't transcribe with Austin, but Austin's geeked out. They kissed outside of a challenge. Austin's ready to go, right? Then Olandria tries to have a conversation about the fact that, with Taylor about their connection or lack thereof. And it's basically like, looky here, like, what are we doing? Like, why are we so socially distanced from each other? Why is it when we have conversations, we're talking about everybody else, but we're not talking about each other? We are talking about everybody else's connection, but we're not talking about us. And I'm here to tell you, Olandria, because there is no connection. Like, what are we doing? Send in Olandria and Chelley new bombshells. Like, what are we doing? Because none of the Leshaw, I'm just not seeing it. And I get it, the men like Taylor and the villa and everything else, like Ace was dancing with him in the rain and stuff. I get it, and I get a lot of people go to talk to him for advice and things, but here's my thing, he is bringing nothing to the connection with Olandria. She almost called him a queen, and she also called him sis. That is not something you are saying to a man that you are romantically interested in if you're thinking of him like a sis, like a sibling. If you're calling him a queen, like a friend you're trying to hype up, but maybe there's other connotations there. I don't know, because how can that easily just roll off your tongue like that? I don't know. Make it make sense. So I'm not featuring it. I see through Taylor. Taylor showed his card when he rose up quickly for Sierra. When him and Ace had that conversation about Huda, and Taylor said Huda's not trying to get to know anybody else, that told me there was interest there. However, he sees how she's basically attached to the hip of Jeremiah, so it's not even worth pursuing. And then how he was kissing all up on Bella at the challenge, at the baseball game challenge. And we saw in the background throughout the episode that Bella was talking to Taylor, was talking to Ace, was hanging out with those other dudes and everything else. Then we have a segment where Nick and Bella are sitting with Jeremiah and Huda and Chelley and Hannah, and they looked like they were the three couples of the villa. And I was so confused. So I'm like, Nick, you do know that you're in a couple with Sierra, right? Like, what are we doing? So Nick, I have an issue with, because he downplays to Jeremiah and Ace that, it was Sierra. She just mounted me in the photo booth, and I couldn't do anything about it, and all I could do was kiss her, even though I just kissed Bella 5 minutes before. No. Nick, like I've been saying since episode 1, he is a nurse that likes to be touched. He is a nurse that likes to be touched by all these women. Bella was not touching him, so therefore he went for the woman who was touching him, which was Sierra. So all this foolishness with the percentages and everything else, and how he's more physically attracted to Bella, however, sexual attraction is going further with Sierra. Like miss me with the BS, miss me with the foolishness. You're not about to play in my face, right? So, none of the less, y'all. Chelley gets a text, you guys, because she decides after, what happened with Huda and her freak out over Jeremiah, and after Amaya said she's going to get to know Austin and get to know Ace, Chelley's like, listen, looky here. Ace is single. I'm in a couple with Austin. If I just try to re-solidify things with Austin, I can just ensure my safety and just keep it moving, right? Even though I technically already friend-zoned him. So she has a conversation with Austin. Austin and Charlie, they're just freaking out of Chelley, how pretty she is, how beautiful and on point her bikinis are, da-da-da-da-da. So we get a notification. Chelley gets a text that there's going to be recoupling tonight, and whoever is single is going to be vulnerable, right? So everybody's getting ready for the evening. Everybody's getting ready. Everybody's concerned about Nick's decision. Everybody thinks everything's going to come down to Nick's decision, right? On between Bella and Sierra. Huda's having a conversation with Bella. She's telling Bella, listen, look at here, girl. You've got nothing to worry about. You're not going anywhere. That kiss that you had with Nick is going to seal the deal and everything else. And I'm thinking to myself, like, what are we talking about, right? Like, are you Miss Cleo? Like, who told you that you were psychic, that you were a mind reader, and you know for a fact nothing's going to happen to Bella? Like, make it make sense. You're so wrapped up in trying to scare anybody off of Jeremiah that you don't have a pulse of what's going on in the villa. So nonetheless, Ariana shows up and, it's like it's time for the recoupling. They start off with Jeremiah. Jeremiah, I'm not going to hold you. He gives the lamest of lame speeches. And I just couldn't care because I know it is BS. It's like he is trying to, he is trying way too hard for me, and I'm just not seeing it. I'm just not featuring it, y'all. It's just not. He's like a Kendall that doesn't talk. But basically, he has taken on the personality of Kendall in that he's in it for the game, he's in it for the win, and all this and that. And he could care less about anything else, right? So he's gonna say everything and everything else. Huda is crying the entire ceremony, the entire recoupling ceremony, and I'm like, girl, what is wrong with you? Why are you crying like this? Like, you got your man, like what are we doing? Next up is Taylor. We know him and Olandria aren't going anywhere. They need to just admit that they're a friendship couple. I don't know why they won't. Maybe they fear that they'll be, voted least favorite couple or something, but I'm just not getting any romantic vibes. And for people saying, again, it's early days, y'all keep forgetting the US season is a lot shorter than the UK season. It's only 6 weeks. So, nonetheless, we're in week 2 now. So, next up, I believe it is... Who is next? Ace! Why did they have Ace go before Austin, y'all? Why did they have Ace go before Austin is the $1 million question. Why did production do that? Is Ace a production plant? Because he's up here giving the speech, and I'm thinking to myself, okay, he's gonna finally solidify things with Chelley. This is his time to make his move. And he chose Amaya. And I'm thinking to myself, like, what the welly? What the welly-ance? Like, what are we doing? And I was like, you know what? Bring Chelley in, a bombshell that's like a Cinco, and everything else that's like a Koi from last season that has a personality. Bring a tall, dark, and handsome man that is going to sweep her off her feet, that is going to do the thing, is going to take her on a really nice date and all this and all of that, because these men are not cutting it. These men are not cutting it, and it's embarrassing. And so, none of the less, Austin is looking perplexed because he's like, I just had this kiss with Amaya. I'm into her, this and that. Now, I don't know if he's really into her or he's just into somebody that actually is giving him the time of day. So, nonetheless, I feel like they're trying to keep Austin because they know he's a Trump supporter. They know Charlie's a Trump supporter, but they feel like if they pair them up with people that they can, sell to the public, that can kind of, you'll forget about it. I feel like Austin is the Bergie of this season where, like, nobody wants him, but they're going to keep him around as long as possible. until somebody does to justify him being in the final, and I'm just not featuring it. So nonetheless, Austin, shocked at the fact that Ace chose, Amaya, does a speech basically choosing Chelley, right? Choosing Chelley. She's, happy or whatever else. And it was weird because it was like Ace wouldn't look at Chelley after that. And Chelley was not even looking at Ace, but it was funny because Amaya was looking at Chelley, who was putting her hand on Austin's knee and stuff, on his thigh, and then she's like replicating the movement, y'all, with Ace, and I'm like, girl, what are we doing? What are we doing? So then, you guys, we get to the final, the grand final, the royal battle, not the battle royale, right? We get down to the nitty gritty, and it is Nick, and it is down to Nick choosing Bella or Sierra, right? And so I'm thinking to myself, I had a feeling. So what I did, I fast forward to the end of the episode before I watched the episode in its entirety, y'all, because I needed to see what type of time we were on. And because I saw After Sun Saturday, I kind of knew who wasn't going to be eliminated, but I had that feeling. I told y'all in my previous video it was going to come down to Bella and Sierra. Why does Nick, in his recoupling speech, he has this big old stress zit on his face? And he's up here talking about some, he's talking about what happened in the photo booth. And I'm thinking about myself, this is just so inappropriate. Why are we putting this out there? And I was looking at the men's reactions, and the recoupling decisions the men's were most shocked about was Ace's decision choosing Amaya over Chelley. And Nick's whole speech was full of nonsense and foolishness, and basically he ended up choosing Sierra. I don't know what Sierra had on at this recoupling ceremony. I like Sierra. I just felt her outfit was too loud. It had too much going on. I wasn't featuring it. But basically, they send home Bella, right? They send home Bella, who is having a mental breakdown and everything else, because I think she realizes that, you gotta change up, girl. And so Bella's upset. They, the girls escort her back to the dressing room for her to pack her things. Nick pulls her for a last chat, is asking for a hug, is asking for this, and Bella's like, listen, this is not my loss. This is not my loss. It's your loss, Playboy. And that is it, and that is all. Now, what is messy is the preview for tonight's episode is Olandria. She is shook at the fact that Nick chose Sierra over Bella. He was like, he was just kissing Bella. He was just kissing her last night. They were tonguing it down in soul ties for a long time and everything else. And so Olandria is just going on and on and on, not realizing that Sierra is in the room. And Sierra's looking like, what? And Olandria is like, oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, girl. And all the girls that are there are like shook because they're like, what the welly, Ante, what is happening, y'all? But that is the episode. That is everything that happened in the episode, y'all. So there's that. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you're notified the moment I post new content on my channel. And with that being said, I'll talk to you guys again very soon.